Okay guys, welcome back to Crazy Learners. We were talking about OSI model and this is part 2 for the OSI model video. So we have discussed that OSI model contains 7 layers starting from down: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport, session, presentation and application layer. In physical layer, data is in form of bits. In data link layer, it's in form of frame, packets and network, segment and transport layer, and upper 3 layers it's in form of data, right? So we'll be discussing all these 7 layers in detail. Coming to application layer is topmost layer, and it provides an interface to the user to interact with data, to interact with machine. It contains different protocols like FTP, Telnet, HTTP. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. Telnet is for remote desktop. HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It basically acts as entry point for applications to access network, and each protocol works on different port number. We'll be discussing port number in separate video. Presentation layer. What does presentation layer do? See, as I have told you that each and every layer acts as in provides a platform to upper and lower layer to interact with data. Presentation layer does same thing for application layer. Presentation layer defines or make data readable to application layer. At sixth layer of OSI reference model, the presentation layer is responsible for defining how information is presented to users and the interface that they are using, right? Like if you are using any video, presentation layer defines the format. It might be MP4, WMB, AVI, anything, and it is responsible for encryption, compression, decompression of data. Like it's written in the PPT, it translates data from application layer to the format suitable for session layer, right? Both layers, each and not both layers, each and every layer works for upper and lower layer, and it is determined whether you are sending the data or whether you are receiving it, right? There are different standards for representing graphical informations: BMP, GIF, JPG, PNG. These are extensions for images. WAV, MIDI are for audio. WMB, AVI, MPG, MP or MPG, MP4 are for video formats. Presentation layer can also provide encryption to secure data for application layer, right? Data securities are like we have this our payment portals, right? They are in encrypted form, right? These encryptions are given at presentation layer. Coming to the next layer is session layer. Oh, what are the first thing which comes in your mind when you think about session? Session layer, session in terms of networking, session layers, what it do is, okay, right. What does session layer do? It is responsible for creating, maintaining, and tearing down of connections of session. If one machine is connecting with another machine, then a session is created. That session between two machines over network is created by session layer, right? As it's written, establishment, maintaining and release of session, providing dialog management. Dialog management is related with syncing of materials which are going over the tunnel, right? Provide synchronization between users tasks, right? To set up connection or tear down connections, the session layer communicates with transport layer, right? Session, this is very important thing as it's mentioned. Remote procedure call. Remote procedure call, it's a platform, not platform, it's a protocol, IP session protocol, and NFS, network file system, as a application which works on session layer to communicate, to make sessions, right? NFS uses RPC to make sessions. Transport layer. Transport layer is fourth layer of OSI model, and it is responsible for reliable connections. Transport layer is responsible for error detection, corrections, and when an error is detected, transport layer will resend data, thus providing the correction. Okay, this is not okay. We have two protocols working on it, TCP and UDP. UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol, and it's an example of protocol that uses unreliable connection. Like TCP is reliable and UDP is not reliable, right? Okay, this PPT is not worth explaining things. I'll tell you in a broader way what transport layer do. Transport layer is basically responsible for end-to-end connections between two machines, like a machine A is in network A and machine B is in network B. Transport layer guarantees the delivery of message from machine A to machine B. It uses two protocols. One is TCP, second is UDP. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, as it's mentioned here, and UDP is User Datagram Protocol. The fourth layer is transport layer. It provides both guaranteed delivery and non-guaranteed delivery. Right, guaranteed is for TCP and non-guaranteed is for UDP. Network layer. In network layer, it's responsible for transmission of data. Protocols working on it are IP and IPX, and we define different classes of IP addresses in this layer. Data link layer, some protocols working on it are token ring, Ethernet. Data is in form of frames in it. Destination ID and a sender ID is added to the data from where data is coming and from where data is to be delivered, right? And after every delivery, we get an acknowledgement from receiver side. Physical layer is basically, have you heard of MAC address as physical address of a computer. uh, Electric signals, physical hardware thing, each and everything are included in physical layer, right from your RJ45 connector to the MAC address to the wires which are providing connection between wired or wireless connection, whatever it is, all comes in physical layer. It is basically responsible for transmitting bits from one computer to another computer, not I'll say to the channel which is responsible for communication. What else? 802 project model, I'll be discussing it in another video. Okay, fine friend, fine, thank you, and